Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I thought that it would be fun if we did a little, I guess you could call it like a podcast or just like a chit chat episode while we work on our current whips. I do have one here in front of me that is almost done, and I think I'll be able to finish it in today's video. It is basically this halter top that I have been freehanding, no pattern or anything, so I'm a little bit nervous how it's going to turn out, but here is how it's looking so far. I think it's looking pretty good. I am making a top for a Pride event that I will be going to coming up, and I honestly am very proud of how it's turning out. I just hope that it fits me. The way that I'm doing it, I have not been able to try it on yet. I should be able to try it on fairly soon. I just have to seam up the other side, but I figured that I could work on that in today's video. I had to grab a crochet hook. Basically, I'm slip stitching the sides together, but this is all knitted. I am knitting this on a set. I did 5mm for the whole body, and the ribbing I'm doing 4.5mm. These are my Chow-Go knitting needles. I did get these for my birthday. I was so happy. Thank you to my husband. Also, exciting news. I just got a package in the mail today from Hobbii. Have you ever tried Hobbii yarn? I've never tried Hobbii yarn, but I really wanted to make another top for a different Pride festival that I'm attending, and I needed some cotton yarn. And with Joann going out of business, I normally get like the Lion brand DK weight cotton yarn, which I still could have gotten from their website, but I wanted to try Hobbii yarn. I've never tried it before, so I'll show you everything that I got. These are smaller than I thought they'd be, but I'm knitting this top, I think, or even crochet, but it's basically this Friends Cotton 88. It is 100% cotton. It is, I believe it's a DK weight 3. Yes, it is. DK weight 3 yarn. And wow, there's only 75 meters in here. Okay, interesting. I did get 3 of each color, so there's definitely more in this bag here, but I got the colors. Let's see if it says. Okay, so it doesn't look like it has a color name, just color numbers. So the pink is color number 47, which is this beautiful hot pink. Then this kind of like purpley grape color is color 39. And this beautiful blue is color 93. So I think that this will be perfect for the buy flag. I think that these are beautiful colors. So I'm thinking for this, I am going to do kind of like a button-up tank top slash vest situation. I'm thinking like the front left will be pink, the back will be purple, and then the front panel will be blue. So it'll kind of like look like the buy flag in a way, hopefully. But yeah, I only got 3 of each color, and these are very small. So we might be able to do that idea, we might not. I also got a piece of candy. That's so funny. Okay, interesting. Little piece of candy. But yeah, hopefully that will work. I don't know if it will. I was going to crochet it, but I think I'm going to have to knit it because it's not a lot of yarn. I could always buy more yarn, I guess. The event isn't until June 21st that I want this top for. So this top, however, is coming up. It's like there's a Pride event for tomorrow. I'm almost done. I could theoretically wear it for tomorrow, but then there's also one June 7th, so I have time though, don't worry. So basically for my top, when I was knitting it, I did slip stitch the first stitch of each row. I don't know if you'll really be able to tell. So basically it's made these really long V's here, where it kind of jumps from the row before. So I just put the wrong sides of my knit together, and I'm going to slip stitch up until the elbow armpit area. And then what I did is I picked up stitches along both sides of the armhole and then did additional stitches for the strap. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So grab your project or a little snack or a drink. I have coconut water and make with me, I guess. Let's work on our projects together. I also forgot to mention this yarn that I'm using is actually by Big Twist. I got this during the Joann like warehouse clear out thing that they did before they closed. But this is Big Twist anti-pilling yarn, the Living line, I believe, and this is in the colorway Serenity. I don't know if you're able to get this yarn anymore. I know some company did buy the Big Twist rights. I just don't know if you're able to get this specific yarn. So just in case anyone was curious what the yarn was, I was really lucky to find it before Joann closing because I really wanted this yarn since it is like, since Pride Month was coming up. But yeah, I'm not sure if you can get this anymore, but anyways. So I had a couple of things that I wanted to talk about in today's video. First off, if you watched my video where I cleaned and reorganized my crafting office, you'll notice that the background is different. I downsized on a lot of stuff. A lot. I was selling everything on like Mercari, and literally within the first day I sold like 7 big packages. Like people were bundling a lot of stuff. I sold it all for really cheap because in this economy, let's be honest, it was the least I could do, and also I wanted it all gone. It was just taking up so much space, and honestly my craft room was very like filled. It looked more like a storage room, like a storage closet. I really just had so much stuff. I really was a victim of overconsumption to the max. A lot of stuff was like gifted to me, or I found it like for really cheap, but it was just so much stuff and I did not need that much stuff. I definitely have a lot of stuff still. So it's not like it's just bare. Also over here, these little shelves here on my left, probably your right, I put a bunch of my yarn. So that's great because my yarn over the door organizer was very full. Very, very full. And all of the yarn that is on my shelves now are like my nicer, like high quality type of yarns. So that's nice. I can see them. They're in plain view and they're beautiful. Beautiful decorations and everything like that. So I have just come to realize that overconsumption, of course, is bad. Everybody knows that. It just took me a long time to get to that point to where, you know, you have adult money. You like want things that maybe you couldn't have as a kid. I know like I could not have a lot of things when I was a kid. My parents did not have the means to do that. And so now that I had adult money and like my own space, I could just like get what I wanted and things like that. But it just took up too much space. And honestly, it was kind of like overwhelming. Like I would get an overwhelming feeling when I would come in here instead of it being like a happy place that I enjoy like working in and things like that. So yeah, I'm definitely happier with how it looks. I'll show you guys, I had like this whole wall above me was like full of keychains, and now that's gone. I think I'm going to put some sort of wall decoration there. And then all of my frogs that you see here behind me, I had in like a crocheted hammock. And now I have some yarn that I want to use for a future project that will probably be like in the colder months because it's basically a cardigan. It's this. I believe it's called 6 Daisies cardigan by Dagan. I've seen it pronounced or heard it pronounced both ways. I'm not entirely sure, but this. And it's obviously too hot in East Tennessee for that, so that is going to be definitely a future project, but it just looks nice. Yellow is like one of my favorite colors, and so now it's kind of like a little decor moment, because before this room was just like Hello Kitty to the max, and there's nothing wrong with Hello Kitty. I still love Hello Kitty. She's got my heart. I love that girl. But it was just to the point where I had way too much stuff. And that kind of brings me to my next topic, is that I want to buy quality over quantity when it comes to certain things, right? Like clothes, for instance, or shoes. I really shopped a lot at like TJ Maxx and Marshalls, which like they have high quality things for a good price, but I would get kind of like really, really cheaper kinds of things. And I know a lot of people can't do that, and I'm not shaming anybody for doing that. I just personally had a very bad habit of over consuming things, especially buying clothes that were like trendy or cute, but then they just weren't my style. And so therefore I didn't wear them. And then they took up space in my closet. And then, you know, they weren't getting used. So that's where I personally had that issue. So again, no shame on anyone who shops at those stores. I still personally shop at those stores. I'm just like not going to buy like really, really trendy clothes or anything like that anymore because I don't wear them, and therefore they took up space. Okay, see, I've slip stitched my project here up the side, and then basically what I did is I just like used the same yarn, like working yarn, to pick up stitches for like the armpit / strap area. So that's what I'm going to do again, because honestly it worked out. I'm just making sure that I have the same amount of stitches slipped. It looks like I need to slip a couple of more, which is no biggie. I am very excited to try on this tank top because, again, I just freehanded all of this. I did not use any pattern, which is always my downfall. I feel like when I crochet wearables, it always turns out much better than knitting. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because I like crocheted first that I'm kind of better at gauging what will fit me and what won't compared to knit, because knit kind of like stretches out a lot more and then it becomes see-through, at least from what I've noticed. So I just have to like become more aware of that, apparently. Okay, I think I have enough stitches now. So basically when I knit my pieces, I like leave that little edge stitch or whatever, but then I take a crochet hook and I slip stitch everything together, kind of like with a bigger crochet hook. So this is a 5.5 millimeter, and then I knit the body all in a 5 millimeter. But then like it makes picking up stitches so much easier. I'll show you guys what I mean. So basically, like I've got my work slip stitched together, right? I'll show you. It's going to be kind of weird to see. But basically I slip stitch it all together. So now I have my working loop here, right? So then I'm just going to remove my crochet hook and then take my set of knitting needles. Again, I'm using 4.5. Not like you're going to copy this or anything. And then I go through like these stitches here. You can kind of see where they already have the V, but I just go underneath of one here, if I can show you. But I just like go underneath the stitch. This is kind of hard to go backwards. And then put my little working tail of yarn through, and then just pull it through the stitch, basically, just like that. So now I have like my working tail of yarn. It'll already be connected, and it makes picking up stitches so much easier. I'm sure I'm not the first person to think of that, nor do it. But once I figured out I could do that, I was like, wow, this is like such a game changer for me when it comes to like knitting. I also love adding crochet to knit pieces, or like knit to crochet pieces. I love to mix the two. I just find it so much easier. You could theoretically like sew the sides together, or even use your knitting needles to like somehow slip it together, but I just love using a crochet hook. Like it's so nice to be able to use them interchangeably but for the same pieces. So for the next topic that I wanted to speak on, which I feel like is very, very prominent in everyone's lives right now, especially if you are a woman. I get these ads all the time. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, like TikTok, the radio, oh my god, the car radio, or commercials on TV or something. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. GLP-1s or Ozempic. Comparing the kinds of like ads that I get to the ads that my husband gets are so stark, so different. I mean, it is so very clear what the target audience is for these ads. I mean, it's like so insane. I get so many ads for GLP-1s, and if you're currently on a GLP-1, I'm again not shaming you. I know a lot of people in my personal life who are taking GLP-1s, but my issue with it is how heavily advertised it is, and especially to women. I definitely am the kind of person who struggles sometimes with my body image. Like, some days I feel really, really good about myself. And then other days, not so much, right? Like, I feel like we can all resonate with that on a certain level. But then seeing these ads all the time about the, people who take it, say that they lost 30 pounds in the first month or something like that, which is so crazy. I would love, sometimes, like I said, I look at my body and I'm fine with it. I have amazing days. And then other days I look at my body and I'm like, wow, 30 pounds in like 1 month? That's crazy and sounds nice, right? Especially because most of these GLP-1 companies, like Hers, right? Hers, Hers, they give you like financing plans, like they give it to you so cheap, even if you don't have insurance. And then I sit there and I think about it, and it's like, there's so many side effects to these things that a lot of, like, we don't really know yet, right? Because they're so new. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take a medication just because it's new, right? Like, I believe in vaccines, but when it comes to GLP-1s, a lot of people have been experiencing like blindness or something like that, or like their hair falling out, or all sorts of things, right? And there's always going to be side effects with medications of any kind. I'm not saying that side effects are like super bad. I mean, some side effects are super bad, but to me, right, with these GLP-1s or Ozempic, it's everywhere. We see it in so many celebrities, like I said, so many commercials, people in my everyday life who are like ranting and raving about them and everything like that. It is so hard to not feel bad about myself whenever they come up, because like I said, people in my everyday life, I see how well it works for them and how much weight they've dropped in so little time. But it's like, obviously that's not a cure-all, right? Like, if I want to lose weight, you've got to put in the work. And also, I should feel confident in myself and my looks and my body to not need those things. You know what I mean? And I feel like it is such a stark difference when it comes to men versus women and these kinds of advertisements, right? Because I know men in my life who are taking the GLP-1s, but again, comparing the ads that are targeted towards me and then to my husband that are targeted towards him, it is not at all the same thing. Ever. It is not at all the same thing. I mean, he gets like, I don't know, like tools or like vacation type areas like advertised to him, like literally, and then I get like I don't know, like Revlon anti-wrinkle creams, or like the GLP ones from Hers, or RO, or things like that, right? Like, obviously we know for a very long time women have been scrutinized for their looks and their age and their beauty, and just to see it so starkly, so plainly, still blows my mind. It just still blows my mind. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments, how do you feel about GLP-1s? Are you currently on a GLP-1? Do you also struggle with your body on the daily? Because I feel like, we all do, but it's just not as talked about how prominent GLP-1s have become, especially when it comes to women. Okay, so on a lighter note, sorry, I just like, that has really been on my mind a lot recently, and I'm sure on the minds of a lot of other women who struggle with their bodies and things like that, or just like confidence. I just really wanted to talk about it and let you know that you're not alone in feeling the pressure and the yeah, you're not alone, because I've definitely been struggling with it. I weigh 175 pounds for full transparency. I'm 5'2", 26 years old, and like I said, I have my good days and I have my bad days for sure. But yeah, this is what my normal body looks like, okay? Like, this is normal. The like snatched cheekbones and the really skinny bodies and things like that are not normal for everyone. Some people naturally are like that. Some people, myself, are not. And I need to come to terms with that. Anyways, next topic that I wanted to talk about, when you're watching this next month, June is coming up, and I got an ad for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, I believe is what it's called. I'll put it up here on screen. They're doing a challenge, and I've seen challenges like these before, but never for like cancer. It's more for like bringing awareness to like, you know, pride, like the Trevor Project and things like that. But I've never had a YouTube channel to do them, so I'm very excited for this coming month. I am going to be taking the challenge to knit every day to raise awareness for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Basically, they are doing a fundraiser slash awareness challenge to knit every day of June, and I really just wanted to plug them because I'm going to be doing a video where I do the challenge, knit every day, and all proceeds of that video are going to go towards the fundraiser. I think I can attach that from YouTube, so that way I don't touch any of the money, it just goes straight to them. And I'm also going to leave the link in the video if any of you want to donate. And then I will be doing daily updates on my Instagram as well as my TikTok page. I don't really ever post on TikTok, and I barely post on my Instagram, but that is something that will be driving me. I really want to get involved in that way. So if you're interested in seeing my progress, you can check out my Instagram and my TikTok. They will be linked down in the description box below. And of course, watch out for that video coming. It will probably, of course, be at the end of June so that you can see the full progress of what I will be knitting. But I did get the yarn for that too. So I'm very, very excited to take that on. So the next topic is my future projects. So I really love, okay, so if you missed my last video, I did a kind of like mini yarn crawl slash yarn haul that I did when I went across 3 cities, 2 states, and I got a bunch of yarn instead of souvenirs, and I shared with you guys the yarn stores that I shopped at as well as the yarn that I picked up. And one of the yarns that I picked up is this beautiful color. I'll insert it here. It is called Savannah Peach, and it's a weight 1 fingering weight yarn, and I found this pattern. It is the Rolled Edge Tank by Jessie May Martinson, or Jessie May Designs, and it is such a cute pattern, and I think is perfect for the yarn that I want to use. I'll have to double check the pattern. I'm looking at like the printed pattern, and it doesn't say what weight the yarn is, but I'm pretty sure when I got this off of Ravelry it said fingering weight 1 yarn. But yeah, that tank top is gorgeous, and I think that it will be beautiful for that yarn. I have 3 hanks of it, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be enough for a tank top. Probably even have some left over. But yeah, I'm super excited for that. So that's one of my projects, and then of course the project that I'm going to be knitting for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So yeah, we have 2 projects already, and of course they're knitted projects, so they're going to take me the longest. Like I said, the one for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, am I saying that right? I keep thinking I'm switching the words. Anyways, their colors are red and white, so I'm going to do red and white for that project. So we have that, and then the Rolled Edge Tank. And then, of course, like the little By Pride shirt that I'm going to be making with that yarn. So that's technically 3 projects. Is that a little ambitious? Maybe. To knit 3 projects? Maybe. Who's to say? But you know what? I have faith in myself. I think I'll be able to do it. Like I said, with the red and white one that I'm doing for the fundraising event, it will be all month, so I won't have a time. I will have a time frame to work it, but the other one's not really. So, you know, it's not like I have to like rush to have all 3 of these projects, especially within that month. But I just wanted to share my upcoming projects that I'm very, very excited to do. I have just been, like I said, in my knitting era, obviously. But I just love, especially during the hot times, knit is so much lighter than crochet. Crochet is definitely thicker. I mean, of course I could use like a smaller thing of yarn. Like I could use like a size 1 yarn, and then therefore it wouldn't be so thick. I actually started crocheting this top. This is a worsted weight yarn, so it was way thick, and with it being June in East Tennessee, it was going to be way too hot. So I did have to unravel it and then therefore start knitting it, which I'm so glad that I did, because so far it's looking great and hopefully it fits me. But yeah, I am just loving knit. I feel like a lot of people think that knit is just for the colder months, but depending on like the yarns that you use, again, same for crochet, it's good for year round, like spring and summer and even fall. So it's like very versatile. Obviously crochet is too, because like I said, you can use thicker or heavier yarns, but you know what I mean. I also really, really want to make like a scrappy sweater or bag or something. I have a lot of leftover yarn from previous projects, and I just really want to like get them all used up. And like a sweater would definitely be the best way to use it all up, because, you know, it uses a lot more yarn than like a bag. But then a bag would also be really cool. Like, could you imagine like a scrappy bag? I was on Pinterest yesterday actually, and I made like a little collage of some scrappy sweaters. But again, I could like make a bag, and I think that would be really cool. Or even kind of like a iPad cover or something like that would be super cool. I honestly just, I have so many projects, but if I were to crochet it, it would, 1, use up more yarn, and then 2, work up really quick. So I already have a lot of knitted projects. And then the bag, you know, I could use like all the time compared to like a sweater. You know, you can only wear a sweater during the colder months. So I think that makes a lot more sense. I hate when I add stitches, how slow I am knitting it, because it's just, there's obviously nothing to work with other than what's on the needle. So it's like, I have to like really focus and see where I'm putting my needle and everything like that, just to make sure that I'm actually working the stitch and not into the yarn or something like that. So, oh, update on my garden. So I will put the video in the cards where I showed you guys what we planted for this year. Everything is looking really, really good. We haven't gotten any tomatoes or anything like that, but we have some zucchinis coming in. We have some broccoli coming in, which I didn't know how broccoli grew until we planted it, but it's looking so good. It's like kind of the size of my palm, I would say, with the crown of the broccoli. But it is just so crazy to see it all growing. It's so funny. I also got some more chicks this year. If you guys don't know, I have some chickens, which have been really, really handy during this economy. I'm sure egg prices are better now, but the last time that I looked at them, they were not good here in East Tennessee. But it's been great to have chickens. I'm very thankful that we are able to have chickens. So I had 3 hens, and so therefore getting 3 eggs a day. But I also give eggs away to people, so it'll be nice to have more chickens. Obviously, they won't be laying for a while, but I do have chicks. I just got them from Tractor Supply. They are golden laced Wyandottes. If you know chicks, you'll know that they're really cool. If you don't know chicks, I'll put a picture of them up here on screen. They're beautiful chickens. They're gonna have like a dark brown color. So I'm very, very excited for them. They're growing a little every day. It's so cool to see them growing. I have them in their own little kind of like brooder right now, and then once they get bigger, then I can put them in a separate little area of the run so that my other hens will get used to them. I waited long enough in the year to get chicks to be able to tell by looking at them which is which, because when you go to Tractor Supply, I don't know how Co-op does it, but I went to Co-op and they were done having chicks this year, but Tractor Supply has them apparently year round, which I didn't know. But these chicks, they were in the bin and they were straight run. So straight run means that they don't separate the males from the females. They just put them all in one thing and you basically just get what you get. But yeah, I went late enough in the year that I was able to tell which were female and which were male. Basically with females, they have their wings like go all the way to their butt. They're like the full length of their bodies, and then they have little butt tufts is what I call them. So they basically start to get their little tail feathers. And then males don't have tail feathers, and their wings only go about halfway of their body length. So it was really cool to see them and be able to tell what I was getting. So that was nice. So I had 3 hens to begin with, and now I've got 3 chicks. So then that will give me 6 hens. And I'm very, very excited because, like I said, these chickens are going to be beautiful. My chickens that I have currently are like mixed. They're like, I don't know, what would be the word? Like mutts? That sounds so bad. They're just like mixed, right? Like they're not a specific breed because I got them from some friends who had chickens, and then they obviously just let their chickens breed, like they don't keep them separated or anything like that, so they're all just mixed breeds. But these ones, of course, are like full-bred golden laced Wyandottes. So I'm very, very excited for them, and they're so beautiful. They're literally growing every day. It's so cool to see, and they're actually starting to get feathers all over their body, which is very exciting because then that means once they are fully feathered, I can put them out in the run separated in a separate little area with the other hens, and then therefore they don't need the heat lamp that they're currently under. So that'll be nice. I'm very, very excited for them for sure. Another thing that I have been getting into is like jelly. So basically I tried to make honeysuckle jelly. I saw somebody make some on TikTok, and I love honeysuckles. I don't know about you guys, but I remember as a kid, you know, like getting the nectar from honeysuckles, and it was like the coolest thing ever, I thought, when I was a kid. So I really, really wanted to make this honeysuckle jelly, right? So I did, and I thought, I was like so proud of myself. I'd never made jelly before. I went and I already had mason jars, but I had to get like the jelly pectin for it. And I also had to sanitize the mason jars, and that was so scary to me. If you don't know, you have to like boil the mason jars, but do it in a safe way. So like you put the water on the stove, but like put the mason jars in the water, so therefore they're both heating up at the same time. But still, even though I was doing it safely, I just was so prepared for these mason jars to explode. I obviously am very paranoid. But yeah, so I made the honeysuckle jelly. I let it sit for 24 hours to like become a jelly. And after all of my hard work, it just tasted sweet. I don't think I had enough honeysuckles. I followed the recipe, but I still just don't think it was enough. So right now I just have jelly that is just sweet. It doesn't taste like anything. So I really want to remake that with more honeysuckles so that it turns out better, basically. Because yeah, I really want my jelly to taste like honeysuckle, and right now it's just sweet from like the sugar that I put in there because that's what the recipe called for. So that's gonna be one of my new ventures, one of my new hobbies, I guess you could say. I'm also like growing some strawberries in my garden, so maybe one day I'll make some strawberry jelly if I ever get enough strawberries, because these strawberry plants only give me like 1 or 2 a week or something like that. Probably more, but you know, they're just not very fast growing. Maybe it's just because they're so young, I don't know. But I really want some more strawberries, but they're just not growing as fast as I would like, I suppose. Speaking of new ventures or new adventures, I had quite the adventure yesterday. I so like I said, I've been selling things on Mercari, and just getting rid of things. And someone was very close to me. They were about an hour drive. And so I met up with them to sell them some things instead of like shipping it, basically. And I got a flat tire while I was on my way to go and meet them. So I texted them, I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm going to be a couple of minutes late. I literally just got a flat tire on an exit ramp off of the interstate. So they were like, oh my gosh, like, do you want to wait a day? Do you need help changing the tire? I was like, no, I've got this. Have I ever changed a tire? Yes, I have. Actually, in high school, we had to take driver's education, and for our final to pass the class, we had to change a tire. So I've been graduated since 2017, so it's been a while, right? It's been a while since I took that class, especially because it was like when I was a sophomore or something, or a junior, I can't remember, one of the two. So it's been a while. It's been a long time since I've changed a tire, is my point. So when I saw that I had the flat, it was flat because my light came on and I was like, oh, my tire's just low. And then I heard it, like, and I'm going on the interstate, right? So I'm going like 70 and I hear like bum, 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 bum. And I'm like, oh my God, this tire is flat. Like, it's not low, it's completely flat. So I pull off of this exit ramp just right off of the interstate, and I'm on the shoulder, and I'm so scared, so paranoid that I'm going to just get, run over by a semi or another car or something. And a part of me wanted to cry and then call my husband to come do it for me. But I was like, I can change this tire. Get a grip. Get a hold of yourself. So that's what I did. I literally, and it was raining. Oh my gosh, was it raining? That was another thing. So I'm literally like trying to jack up my car, trying to change this tire. It's raining. It's loud because cars are passing me. I'm like freaking out. I put my hazards on as I'm parked on the shoulder and everything like that. Oh my gosh. But we finally got the tire changed. I finally got the tire changed. It was done. And then I had to drive to tire shop. And then once I drove to the tire shop, it was like a 2.5 hour wait for this tire. So I was like, okay, well, I obviously need the tire because I can't drive on my donut. I can't drive on my donut very long. If you guys don't know, for future reference, you cannot drive on your donut for more than 50 to 70 miles, depending on what the manufacturer says. And you're not supposed to exceed 50 miles per hour on a donut because it's not the same as the rest of your tires, so therefore the handling will be different, and it can mess up all sorts of things on your car, like your alignment and just a whole bunch of stuff, right? So I'm driving down the rest of the interstate. I get back on the interstate, driving down the interstate, I'm going like 45, which is horrible because, again, the speed limit is 70. So I'm going to this tire shop, and then I get off of the interstate, right? So it's like a 2.5 hour wait to get the tire. So then I walk to like a nearby bookshop that had like a coffee shop, and that was great. I sat there for like the whole 2.5 hours doing work on my iPad and like had a coffee. So it was better. Like once I got past the initial like unfortunate event of changing my tire, it was like we were in the clear. So now my tire is all good. I didn't need to freak out. I'm glad that I didn't crash out on this shoulder of this exit ramp off of the interstate. But yeah, I just kept my cool. I changed the tire, and I'm so proud of myself because I remembered everything that I learned from that one class I took in high school. So this is just a PSA that you may think that you don't need to know how to change a tire because you could call AAA or like call somebody, and that's totally fine, but like I feel like you should also know how to change a tire. Like I said, I had not changed a tire since high school. I did not think that I was going to remember, but it kicked in, like me being a little freaked out, and because then I had to meet the person too. I like met the person to sell them the thing, like driving on my donut, and they're like, are you okay? Like, I hope everything's fine. I was like, no, yeah, it's great. Like, I changed my tire. I'm just going to go to the tire shop after this and get a new one. Like, no worries. And so that's exactly what I did. So it pays to keep your cool sometimes, because did I want to cry and call somebody? Yeah, I did. Especially because it was raining. I was on the interstate. Everything was loud. I was freaked out, but I kept my cool, and it all paid off. and now I have a new tire. So it's not a big deal. I've literally been yapping and like not really knitting, so I am just coming up on finishing my first row of this tank top strap. So I did want to like show you guys I did want to show you guys like the finished tank top, but I don't know if I'll be able to now. I don't know. I've just been yapping, which is basically what this is supposed to be anyways. Like, we're just chilling. We're chit-chatting, right? So it's all good. We're all good. So I'm really hoping that this tank top is going to turn out. Like I said, I'm doing kind of like a halter top design. I'll show you guys. And it's looking pretty good. So hopefully it turns out. But basically, this is what it's looking like so far. I've never knitted a halter top before, and like I said, I'm not following a pattern. I probably should. I really need to steam this and block it because it's not wanting to lay flat. But yeah, it's turning out really good actually. I'm so proud of myself. Like I said, normally when I freehand knit something, it does not turn out. But by the knitting gods, I am doing it. It's turning out good. It's looking, you know, like it's going to fit me, so hopefully it will. I'll definitely post on my Instagram the finished item. I'm probably going to have it up posted probably tomorrow as you're seeing this video. So yeah, fingers crossed it turns out, because like I said, I've got an event and it's coming up. The date is steadily approaching. So hopefully I did not waste my time with this. Hopefully it turns out. Because if it doesn't, oh my gosh, honestly, that would just be my luck. Because why do I feel like I have all the confidence in the world to actually freehand knit something? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. So hopefully it turns out, because I cannot take the loss. I can't take the loss. I have to have the win, okay? Yeah, so knitting this strap, now that I've done the first row of it, so much easier. Oh my gosh. Literally so much easier. Because when you're trying to like knit into new stitches you've just casted on by like doing the like little loop-de-loop method, they're just so hard to like knit into and like not mess anything up. So, I don't know. Hopefully everything else comes together. Okay, well, I guess I'll leave it here because I've been talking for a while. This video is going to be so long. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys made some progress on your works in progress. You enjoyed the video. And I guess I'll see you back here Friday with another video. Also, we have some very cool opportunities coming, so keep an eye out for those. I'll make an announcement when those come about. But with that, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I hope you had a great week, and I'll see you back here Friday with another video. Bye!